Hello there, fifth graders. It's Miss Hess here with my last video session with you for the year. Soon you guys will be off on your summer break. We all will soon. And I wanted to share with you something today that I came across a little over a week ago, and I think that you might like it. It's not from a book. This was an article that was published in the Boston Globe magazine. Okay, so I'm sure there are many of you out there who are big fans of Jeff Kinney. Who is Jeff Kinney? Author of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, right? So this article came out by him. You see that funny little cartoon at the bottom. You can see a kid graduating and his parents looking through the window practicing social distancing, right? Cheering him on. Yay! So I thought this was a really great article to share because it's been a weird, challenging school year for all of us, right? For kids, for adults, everybody. So we're all in this together. So I thought, even though this article is written for kids who are graduating, it kind of applies to all of us. So, okay, listen carefully, okay? So I'm going to put on my glasses so I can see better. This says, the Diary of a Wimpy Kid author has a message for the class of 2020. Staying at home has been hard, but you're nailing it. So just imagine what you'll be able to accomplish next. To the graduating elementary and middle school class of 2020. You've come so far. Think about it. When you started off your academic journey in kindergarten, you were just beginning to master your colors and shapes. Now you're doing math so difficult, your parents can't even help you with your homework. Which really isn't our fault. They totally changed the way they did long division. And you've learned so many things along the way. Things you'll know for the rest of your life, like how to multiply fractions and the time it takes for two trains to meet if they're traveling in opposite directions at different speeds. Everything you've been taught up to this point was carefully planned by educators to help you chart a successful path forward. Except for cursive. That was a waste of time. Sorry. Of course, not everything you've learned has been in the classroom. You've learned that it's impossible to tickle yourself and that you should never eat yellow snow. You've learned that staying up all night during a sleepover really isn't worth it. You've learned that spending your birthday bucks on V-Bucks wasn't a good financial decision. You've learned all these things while the world was changing around you. When you started your first day of kindergarten, there were no such things as air fryers or smart speakers or fidget spinners or selfie sticks. And just try imagining life without those things now. But the biggest changes have come only recently. A few months ago, almost nobody had ever heard of things like social distancing, or Zoom video calls, or flattening the curve. None of us imagined that movie theaters would be closed and we wouldn't be able to go to Chili's to eat bottomless chips and salsa whenever we felt like it. And that really stinks. But you've handled all these changes so well. Better than us grown-ups, TBH. In fact, this is where you've surprised us most. Even though you've been stuck indoors most days and you haven't been able to see your friends or your teachers or your grandparents, you've been okay. In fact, you've thrived. Maybe it's because your parents have given up trying to limit your screen time, but still, you're kind of nailing this quarantine stuff, which makes us proud and inspires us and tells us you're going to be okay. and that we're all going to be okay. You keep asking us when this is all going to be over, when things will go back to normal. So we take our best guess, but really, that's all it is, a guess. The truth of it is, none of us really know, which must be frustrating to you. Here's what we do know. We know that this will end. We know that you'll play your favorite sports and hang out in your friends' basements and go to the movies and see your grandparents in person. And in that moment, when we all finally get within 6 feet of people we love, everything will be sweeter. In fact, in those days, you'll smile so much it will hurt. They're going to come up with a name for kids who grew up during this era. Generation COVID, maybe. Hopefully something cooler. Your grandkids will want to know what it was like growing up in a pandemic. And you'll think back and you'll remember. You'll remember chatting with your relatives on a computer screen all at once. You'll remember your parents telling you not to waste toilet paper because they were all out of the grocery store. You'll remember days when you didn't get out of your pajamas and whole weekends when your parents didn't get out of theirs. And I wanted to pause here and show you the second illustration. That's the last illustration, actually. It's so funny. Everybody in the family using the bathroom. That's kind of how it is, right? So you'll tell them. And then you'll hold them close. And then they'll complain that you squeeze them too much, just like all relatives your age. But you won't feel bad because you will know. You'll know that the most important lesson was saved for the end of your childhood. It wasn't a lesson anyone planned for you or for any of us, but we've learned it well, and the months ahead will make it especially clear. Being with other people makes us happy. To be fair, you probably knew that already, but sometimes it's good to be reminded. We're going to figure out a lot of things in the months ahead, step by step. There's a lot we're going to learn together and from each other. But we already know the most important things. We're lucky to have one another. And the memories we're making together now in this crazy, upside-down world will last a lifetime. Congratulations on making it this far. We're proud of the things you've done already and the people you'll become. You'll be doctors and entertainers, scientists and video game testers. You'll figure out how to protect our planet and how to prevent something like this from ever happening again. And if any of you become teachers, can you get them to switch the way they teach long division back? The old way was really better. Okay, guys, that's the end of this library session. I wish you guys all the best. And I hope that I get to see you next year. If you're over at the middle school, please do stop by Heidelberg to say hello to your teachers. And if you're moving, have a good life and take care of yourselves. Do great things. And I hope to see you guys soon. Take care. Bye, guys.